Hi, my name is Jeff Hewitt, General Manager here at Brian Cullen Motors, and today we're going to talk about Super Cruise. Yes, Super Cruise. That's what Motor Trend says was the best tech of 2025. It's standard in this Optic. We're going to go for a drive. So here we are, we have a 2025 Optic. This is going to be our test subject today. And the reason why I chose this particular vehicle, well, first of all, it's got license plates on it. We're going out on the street and you'll notice that it is a green vehicle. And so that means it is electric. And so yes, if you've seen the other videos on Optic, you know what this car is about. This one here is a Sport 2. So that means it's full of great standard equipment. We have optioned it with the absolutely beautiful After Midnight wheels. They really set the car off nicely. We did the two-tone roof to give it the black versus the white. Picks up the black mirrors. Really, really nicely equipped vehicle. Drives like a dream. And oh, by the way, it does have the sky cool gray interior. And just a note to the viewer that looked at my last Optic video, I know it's not real leather. It is a synthetic leather interior. That's not a bad thing. That just means it lasts a long time. Let's come around the car. I'm gonna go get inside. We're gonna go for a drive. I'll tell you a little bit about how Super Cruise works. Basically, it's taking a bunch of technology that we already know, okay? So GPS technology. This is not new. It's been around for a long time, right? So we've got that. We have cruise control. Well, cruise control goes back, I don't know, what, 50 years probably? Very old. Somebody can look it up and put it in the comment section for me, please. Right? So we have cruise control, we have GPS. I don't know if everybody understands what LiDAR is, but LiDAR is a scanning tool that companies can use. And basically here in Canada, all the 400 series highways have been scanned for LiDAR. So in other words, what happens is that they know exactly where all the curves and twists and turns of all the 400 series roads are. So we've got all of these things going for us, and then we add a host of array of sensors and radars and things that add it all up. And oh, by the way, yes, we take advantage of the cameras. And I gotta apologize for the rough road here. We're on Ontario Street in St. Catharines. It hasn't been paved in the last 50 years, so that's something we deal with. But as we get onto the highway here now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get up to speed and we're gonna engage Super Cruise. Now you can do this a couple of ways. First of all, what you're waiting to see is on the display, either down here in the dash or up on my heads-up display. When you get a little picture of a steering wheel, that means we are ready to use Super Cruise. And as I merge safely onto the highway, and oh, by the way, never operate Super Cruise unless you've read all of the instructions. That's my disclaimer. Make sure you refer to the owner's manual. But here we are on the highway, and I can see I got the little steering wheel on, and I can either just engage Super Cruise right away, or I can engage the adaptive cruise first. So there I am, I'm on adaptive cruise, and now I'm just gonna push the Super Cruise button. My steering wheel lights up green. It goes ahead and centers me in the roadway. I'm not driving anymore. Super Cruise is. And so we're just gonna go along here. I'm gonna have to turn the wipers on, and yes, it even works in the rain, so that's not a problem. And I'm following along here, and I've just got it on cruise control. Now, if I wanna go faster, all I have to do is bump up the cruise, and this is where it gets kind of fun. So I'm gonna bump it up here. Right? Now it's obviously not going to let me run into the vehicle behind us, but it's looking for a lane opening right now. And oh, by the way, because this car's going too slow, it just made a lane change all by itself. I didn't ask it to do it. It did it because it saw an opening, it checked my blind spot, and away we go. And so here we are, we're accelerating past, and we're going to catch up to this car in front of us because quite frankly, I've got it set a little high just to demonstrate all that this can do. But here we go, and now it's going to slow down, fall at a safe distance to the car in front of us. No problem, no fuss, no muss. Now, you'll notice I keep looking back straight all the time because it gives you these little warnings. Oh, by the way, it's changing lanes again, it's going back to the middle. So I have to keep on looking straight because there's a camera right here on my steering column to make sure that I'm paying attention to what's going on. Because if I have to, I got to grab the wheel and take control. You can't just sleep, do your taxes, or whatever it is that you want to do while you're driving. And here we go, it's going to change back again. It's making a lane change to pass, well, a slower vehicle. Now, you ask, Why did it take us back to the middle lane in the first place? Well, because unlike many of the drivers on the road today, Super Cruise understands you're not supposed to hang out in the left lane. You've made your pass, you completed your pass, it will take you back to the middle lane where you belong. So really simple. So, you know, we've seen the speed vary here by about 5 kilometers because I've set it pretty high. We just had somebody jump in front of us. Okay, so it had to slow down a little bit, keep that safe distance. But basically it allows me to talk with my hands, which I like to do from time to time, and we can just keep on driving. Now it does give us some warnings. Right now it says construction zone detected. And so it can actually see these things are taking place. So as you can see, we've got quite the layout here. We do have choices of how our dash looks. Over here right now, I happen to have the map up. We can control all of these. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna set the map to take us to work. And I just use that using the dial, and I'm gonna tell it to start. And it's probably gonna make us get off at the next exit here and turn around and come back. And so that's pretty much the plan. But you'll notice that I haven't touched the wheel. My feet, I've got them pulled back from the pedals, and I'm not having to do anything. The most amazing thing about this product is that it is ultra safe, used properly, okay? So it is not meant for stop and go traffic. You can try to use it. It's not really what it's meant for. It's a great product. General Motors does a really, really good job of making sure this product is safe. Now I'm gonna have to exit off here. So I'm gonna take it off of Super Cruise, and I'm just gonna cancel it. It's gonna say that we're canceled, and I'm gonna take control of the car, make my lane changes, and I'm gonna get off here at Glendale and turn us around. And we'll give you another demonstration on the way back as well. But basically, that's Super Cruise. It's stress-free, you know, not quite autonomous driving. Now remember, autonomous driving means it drives all by itself. This is what we would call probably semi-autonomous. So in other words, it's making some decisions, it's knowing when to change lanes, it knows what it needs to do. So, and it does this with all the cameras, all the sensors, the GPS technology. What ties it all together is OnStar. So OnStar, which has been around for a very long time, that's General Motors' proprietary system, right? That not only does GPS, it does communication. And this is the beauty, is that when you get a new Cadillac, and like, for example, an Optic like this one here, where it is standard equipment to have Super Cruise, it comes with a three-year OnStar subscription to run that Super Cruise. So you're not having to pay anything extra for those 3 years. It's gonna do everything you need. So, and hey, you know, this is an EV, so let's get on the highway. Let's go. Because these things are fun to drive. So here we are, merging back on the highway. We have a pretty clear highway here. So I don't know if it's gonna give us any spontaneous lane changes, but I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna hit resume on my cruise control, and I'm gonna hit my Super Cruise button. Here we are again, driving without having to actually drive. I went to a meeting in Toronto. It took me about an hour. I went an hour without touching the steering wheel. It is that spectacular. And you know what? It takes a little while for people to get confidence. You notice the first time people do it, the first thing they do is they take their hands off the wheel and they barely remove them from the steering wheel as they almost shake. You'll get some confidence over time. So Super Cruise knows that we've got a vehicle coming up on our left side here. It's aware of it. The cameras can see it. The sensors can see it. Navigates the turns on the bridge here, no problem. And as long as I'm paying attention, it'll keep operating. Now, what if I'm not paying attention? Let's say I stare at you too long. So I'm gonna try this. It's hard for me to do, but I'm gonna try it. And it's gonna give me a little warning here. It's gonna flash the steering wheel at me, and it's gonna make my seat vibrate, telling me to, hey, pay attention, buddy. There it is, there's the flash, right? I gotta pay attention. So it gives you a series of steps of warnings to whether you're paying attention or not. So, well, I think we're about to do a lane change here. As we come up on a slow vehicle, it's gonna take a look over the left side, and it'll make a lane change. And by the way, if it doesn't do it fast enough for you, you can ask it to do it by just pressing a turn signal. But it gives you 4 levels of warning. So it'll flash at you, it'll vibrate the seat, and eventually you'll get an audible message to take the wheel, right? It doesn't say, wake up, stupid. is what it probably should say, but it is, you take the wheel, take back control of the vehicle. It wants to make sure you're paying attention. Great systems, lots of safety built in, and oh, by the way, it can see your eyes. Here comes the lane change. It can see your eyes even through sunglasses, so it knows if you're paying attention or not. So there we go, another lane change completed. So here we are now in the left lane. We're gonna pass this car, and it will evaluate the traffic up ahead of whether it's makes sense or not to move back to the middle lane or not. I suspect with what's going on up ahead there, it probably won't. It'll probably just hang out here for a little bit, as that we're keeping with the flow of traffic in the left lane and the middle lane's running a little slow. Once again, just like cruise control, you can adjust the speed by up or down just like you can with regular cruise control. On the wheel here, you got your speed control. You don't want to get these two confused. The one on the left is your Super Cruise, the one on the right is your heated steering wheel. They do two totally different things. So that's Super Cruise. I really hope you enjoyed our little ride along today demonstrating Super Cruise. Do me a favor, in the comments below, let me know what you think. Do you trust it? Would you try it? And if you do want to try it, make sure you come down and see us here at Brian Cullen Motors, 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines. Come and drive this very same Optic anytime you want. See you soon.